Good evening. This is the Elliott wave update for the S&P 500 and the Nasdaq 100 for Tuesday, September 19th, 2023. I got to tell you, there are days when I believe, oh, I've got this figured out and I know what my count is, and it breaks the level where I think, oh, I just got confirmation, and then it suddenly stops and it reverses, and you sit back and go like, what? So just to start, I'm going to start here on the S&P. I'm going to go right to the 1 hour chart. The bigger picture has not changed. So, but how this is unfolding in this minor third, and in turn, the minute third, has kind of caught me by surprise. And really what it was just the intensity of this buying of the algorithm, just stepping in and buying off of the low, and it really didn't happen right on the low at 44.62. So we hit that low, we started to bounce, and I'm in my mind thinking, oh, it's just a fourth wave. Because remember, I had counted this as like 1, 2, and this was all part of the 3. And I thought, okay, maybe we get the little 3 or 1 of 3. So I ran through all of my numbers, and I figured that, okay, maybe we've now finished this minuet 3. We're going to do a little minuet 4, come back down in a 5, and really start to work here. Or it's kind of coming down in a small 3, and there's going to be a small 4, come back down and do some battle around 44.52, and then put in a larger number, and then again another 4 and another 5 as it stepped its way down. That's still the plan. What got interrupted is what I thought was the minuet wave 1 finishing up here, actually finished down here. So what we got is a nice 1, 2, 3, 4, and that's an irregular, and then the 5. And the launch is going to be minuet wave 2. So again, we got a nesting. These are all nesting, but then now it's even getting more. So I had felt that we were nesting higher within the minute 1 and 2, and now it's just going to be a little bit larger. So it's going to make this minuet third wave very powerful, and it already is demonstrating some of that power. We had this third, and then we had the 5th, and it just really kind of powered up and just pushed. And that's what I look for inside this third wave. But this minute third is going to be bigger. And I'll get into that for just a second. So now what can I expect on this move back up? So since it's a wave 2, we're going to use retracements. And I'm just going to put those in now, right there. So our first retracement level, most common for wave 2, is that it retraces 50 to 62%. Well, that brings us back to 45.14 to 45.26. Now, we already know that basically a second wave can get as close as it wants, just cannot exceed the starting point of wave 1. So that really brings 45.66 back into play, can't exceed. So, but it can get close. Now, I want to just kind of clean this up so that we can really just look at what the important fibs are. So taken off 0.236, 0.786. So here's the internal. And we already got pretty close. Got up to what, 96? Yeah, almost 97, 44.97. And our first 382 is at 45.01. But here we have still declining. The hourly 50 SMA and the 50 EMA. And the 200s, they kind of started to crest and stop, and they maybe go a little flat, but they're sitting up just above at 45.19, 18.19. So the moving averages are continuing to suggest, yep, we should continue down. But for whatever the reason was, can't tell you. But, and as far as like internally what the underlyings were doing, we again saw them come back in for Apple, come back in for Tesla, Netflix. So you start going after the Magnificent Seven, as they're being called. You get these moves particularly in Apple, where they just started to drive it, and that stock ends up $1.10, basically against a pretty strong declining market. So there was something up that they were thinking over there, what's going on. And again, it's not my job to try to figure that one out. And so I just got to go along with it. And we know what power that can add to a rally or decline when Apple has a big move. There were a couple other stocks actually also within the S&P that kind of caught some fire and that added to the push. So, and then again, today we had Instacart. IPO went out. And so I'm getting, and because Metaverse caught a bid and was up like 3, I'm thinking to myself, boy, is somebody a little bit confused and thinking that Instacart is a part of Metaverse? And I'm like, no, most people know that, but who knows? Who knows? Who knows? So, and Instacart actually the initial offering was at 30. The first trades opened at 41, and it finished the day up 370, but at 33.70. But we can already see it's already trading down $1 from there. So again, who knows? But what really kind of just put it all together, and we had this pretty powerhouse rally. Now again, it ran all the way up. You can just see here, then they brought it back down, and then they ran it back up into the close. So what can we look for? I'm not, I am going to continue to look for some upside, but I'm really looking for this to kind of peak out between 45.14, 45, excuse me, 45.26. And I can't tell you if it's going to happen overnight, if it's going to happen during Asian markets or European markets, more likely European markets, because they seem to really love boosting ours. So maybe it gets up there. But we can't forget that tomorrow, again, I'm not sure how this is all going to play out early. In fact, I thought today was in preparation that the market was now going, okay, rates, this is what's going to happen. And we're, going to get a boost in, a quarter point. And then suddenly, well, maybe not. Maybe they think we're not going to get anything, or they're going to give us a pause. Bam. So that all aside, I would expect that we're going to get some additional upside to finish this wave 2. And I'm expecting that maybe to be within 45.14 to 45.26. If it does not get much past 45.01, still can be a wave 2, but it starts to show a little bit of weakness in the market, that they're getting stopped right there in advance of the Fed decision tomorrow. Now, that Fed decision tomorrow comes out at 2 p.m. Eastern. So we still got to trade for 5 hours or 4 hours prior to that. So again, we could be all over the board, or we could just go sideways. So that's kind of what I'm looking at there. And then we'll know what the next move is. What do I have an alternate count? I do, actually. And unfortunately, it goes back up to the minor degree, to the minor 2. So again, because we've not broken below minor wave 1, the alternate view or the alternate count that I would leave in place as we get ready for that Fed decision, which would include stronger upside, is that minor wave 2 is not complete. So I'm backing up a little bit, and I know a lot of people are going to be like, what? But it's the alternate. Because what I always attempt to do here, folks, is I always want to show both sides. So a downside, upside. Now, what if they do pause? The market's going to love it. They're going to jump all over it. So if I'm expecting it to go down and suddenly it reverses and go up, that's a surprise. I don't like surprises. So I want to be more prepared. And now, again, let me just take this out to the 4 hour, and I can show this a little bit cleaner. And we have one, and if this is ABC, and this could be an X. Remember, I thought this could be the X, but it's actually working cleaner, because this works cleaner as a 5, that this is A, B, and then we get another 5, C. So this turns into the X and we get another ABC up. Okay. So that's the alternate view. And if that is the one that is in force, then I'm looking for it to go above, likely to go, why is that there? That's kind of interesting. Not sure why that one is coming in right there. Likely should be up there. Hang on just a second, because that's got me a little bit confused. So we've got to move this up to, because that's the old one, 4634. So the December contract. Got it. Sorry about that, folks. Let me get that fixed. The endpoint is going to be, I think, 4685. Let's see if I can get that on, and it's going to mess up another chart a little bit further out, but we'll have to deal with it. So, okay, so 4685. And you're looking at another ABC that still cannot exceed 4685, but I'd be looking for it to get above 4600. And I think that we could probably start to put in some fibs, and these are going to be rough. I'm going to use some extensions, and I'm going to go from here to here to here. And then I'm going to get rid of this one so we can see them cleanly. So 0, oh, so we have 618, 100, right? Those where this all can come in. So if the second ABC, again, if it is what it is, we get 4655, and we have also just probably about 4613. I think there's going to be some as well, some price resistance. So that's the alternate. I'm not, and what's going to draw my attention to it is that if it suddenly just zips, right, then we're going to have to wait till 2 o'clock Eastern, likely, and it gets about 45.98. That tears this all down and moves that over. So that's unfortunately how high it's going to have to go before the alternate would come into play. So let me go back over here, and I can do it from here, and just get rid of those. And I am going to put these back up so that if people want to see them, they absolutely can. And this is the wave. Oops, wrong one. It's here. Into here. And there's the wave 2. And again, clean those up. So we're not seeing ones that aren't likely to come into play. So those are what's into play. All right, back down to the hourly. So I can leave it there. And if people want to freeze and then copy stuff down, you can. So that's the S&P. Now, one thing I want to double check on again, right? We actually, on the daily, there is the 50, and we broke it. And when we did, it went boom. They have not, where are we now? We're still below it. So that 50, again, sits at 40, come on, get away. 4508 is where that 50 period moving average is on the daily. I'll break back above. We'll throw this thing into high gear to start covering. So again, what we saw today was that break, and it pushed, and they did a great job. So again, we're going to wait. We're going to see how this all plays out, but that's the moving averages. Okay, I'm going to go over to the Nasdaq. Nasdaq, same deal, exactly same deal, all the way around. Now we got the 1, 2, and then I got a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm moving the minuet wave 1 down. We're in a wave 2. Minuet wave 2. This is the preferred count. And if that being the case, here is for wave 2. Let's open that up, and let's get rid of what we don't need here. 2, 6, 7, 8, 6. All right, so there we have it. Most common, 50 to 62%. Brings the Nasdaq up to 15,485, I'm going to call it, to 15,540. Now, it's still a pretty decent rally. Now, from here, it's 60 to 110 points. So, decent move, no matter how you look at it. Same deal. And that we'd be looking for, that would be minuet wave 2. I'm looking for minuet wave 3 just to start kicking in. As we've already seen, if this is minuet wave 1 and it already had some butt kickers in there, wave 3 should be just start to finish butt kicker. So in other words, it just starts to go and it goes, and Apple doesn't fight. They're going to try to buy Apple and everybody's going to go, thank you very much, kaboom. So, whatever tries to go contra should get caught up and know the majority it's selling. And what's going to probably create the selling is we do get the hike. We do get a hike tomorrow. I would expect that type of a negative reaction across the board. Higher rates affect everything. So nobody gets to go squeak by like, oh, that has no problem for us. We'll be able to deal with it. Maybe the case, but Apple borrows money. Everybody borrows money. So again, now alternate, same. Wave 2 would have to still be in force. And this would be an A, B, C, X. So bring it out to the 4-hour chart and open that up a little bit so we get a chance to look at it a little bit cleaner. So we got the 4 hours. So what I got to do first, I got to take these off. And then we're looking for, I got to take this one off. That's not going to work. And so we're going to be checking it out in terms of, we want to see what the second ABC might look like. And then we're going to go down and put our extensions on. I'm going to go there to there. Nope, wrong one. Sorry about that, folks. I'm going to go from here to here to here. Now that's taking that doesn't go any lower, right? So the X gets put there where I have got the one that turns into an X. What we got, 15,900, and we could skirt in. Actually, we want to stay below here. So this secondary number kind of starts pushing the B wave. Pushes the B wave right out of the way. And then it turns it actually into something a little bit different still. But right now, I'd be looking for it to come in underneath. So 15,900, and then as close as it wants to get, but not exceed the starting point for that minor one. And that is 16,251. Okay. Now, moving averages. Let's take a look here on the daily. Let's open that guy all the way up and see what was going on. We broke. And there it is right there at 15,378. We got above it. And we are now trading pretty much right at it. So, and yeah, 81.75. And it's at 78. Well, let me go take it. Yeah, 378. And it's just above it. So it got back above it, broke below it, got back above it. Now, let's see how it wants to close. And I think initially it may have closed above it. And now it's kind of getting pushed around a little bit. In any case, just very bizarre trading, to be honest with you. So that would be the alternate. And I am going to take this one off, put this back on, because that's my preferred. And I want to leave my fibs up for my preferred. And one more time, give it that, clean it up. Take that one out and that one out. There we go. And now we have that in between. So again, expectations are that we should rally back up, get above 15,428, come into 15,484 to 15,539-ish, plus or minus. We have the 50 moving hourly based 50 moving averages in the way, and we have the 200s in the way. So we might get stuck at 15,428. We might get stuck at 15,500 to 505, because that's where the 200s are right there. See? So 23 to 28, and then 84 to 504. Those are what we have is probably some congestion. All right, I'm going to end it right there. And again, big Fed day tomorrow. And that's really about it. Unless they snuck something in there, I don't think we have any additional levels. Nope, the whole day is going to be dedicated to the Fed decision. So trading will be wrapping itself around that, I'm pretty sure. All right, next update will be on Wednesday, September the 20th.